right. Is there anything else you've been hiding that I should know?
You want to hear about my childhood? Maybe what I had for breakfast? I told you what I knew when it became important.
If you truly want to help us, you have to decide whether you're on our side or on your own.
I'm not... I keep hoping none of this is real. Maybe it's all some bullshit from the Fade and it'll just disappear. I know I need to do better. I'm sorry. Corypheus is back. Oh, shit.
You said he was a Darkspawn, or a Magister. What is he really?
I'm not sure. I don't think Corypheus really knows either. He's definitely a Darkspawn, but when we found him, it was pretty obvious he hadn't heard that. He thinks he's a Magister, a priest of Dumat, in fact. He says he broke into the Golden City, like in the Chantry tale.
We'll talk to this warden friend of Hawk's and draft a plan to kill this Darkspawn.
We didn't just think Corypheus was dead. He was dead. No pulse, no breath, full of stab wounds. There wasn't a lot of room for doubt. It makes me wonder. I thought the wardens imprisoned Corypheus to use him. Maybe they did it because he can't be killed.
How did you and Hawk even wind up in a Grey Warden prison for ancient Darkspawn?
Corypheus sent people after Hawk. He actually got control of an entire Carta clan. Made them drink Darkspawn blood. Weird shit. We tracked the Carta to an old dwarven fort or something in the mountains. Of course, it turned out to be a trap. They needed Hawk's blood to open the locks holding Corypheus, and they drew us into the prison to get it.
Nothing is unkillable.
I'm not so sure about that. Do the things in the Fade really die? Maker's breath, what have I let loose?
Forget the past. It makes no difference what Corypheus is or how he got loose. We're putting an end to him.
I wish I had your confidence. But you've got more important things to do than listen to me worry. Just let me know when you want something shot. Inquisitor, we really need to have a talk about your methods. The way you run this place, you get results. I can't argue with that, but the way you do it, you leave a lot of innocent people ground into the dirt behind you.
You said what you wanted to say. Are we done here?
No, that was just the warm-up. This, all that matters is the goal, and fuck the consequences thing of yours. I've seen where that road leads. Anders was the last guy I knew who thought like that, and he was an abomination. What's your excuse? The world has enough problems, Inquisitor. It doesn't need another monster. Try not to become one. Need something?
I've read your Tale of the Champion, and I have a few questions.
That's a pretty common reaction. Go ahead.
Carry on.
Need something?
Can I ask you something, Varric?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Also inclined toward extravagant lies.
Thanks, Varric.
No problem.
It's looking good. Not good enough, but good.
We've stopped losing at least.
Faster than you thought. Admit it.
I admit it.
Questions.
I should go.
You know where I'll be.
Here is the request Harriet made.
I will see he gets it. Did you need something?
Anything I should know?
Having the Templars join the Inquisition has done wonders for our reputation. The people trust the Templars, and now they trust us.
I'll leave you to your work.
Yes?
I'd like to know more about you, Solus.
There is little to tell. What I learned in my studies may help you. My childhood in a village to the north will not. The fate of this world depends on you, Inquisitor. And to that end, I offer my aid. But my life is my own.
We'll talk later.
Of course.
How may I help you?
What are your thoughts about the others in the Inquisition?
What exactly is Varric's role in the Inquisition? Aside from irritating Cassandra. Did you need something, darling?
Do you think that you and I might someday...
My dear, you are delightful, but that's quite impossible.
And what else did Lady Forsythia say?
That she'd rather drown herself than help the Inquisition.
Anything else?
She said she'd have us flogged alive if we allied with her brother.
That does sound like her.
Cheer up, Josie. We at least have her attention.
You always do find the brighter side of things. We are in the midst of cementing an alliance with Lady Forsythia of Navarra, your worship. It's become a somewhat delicate task.
She'll have us flogged alive?
I believe she meant flayed alive. Her ladyship tends to confuse metaphors when she's excitable. I dissuaded her from sending soldiers when she learned we'd struck an accord with a brother she's feuding with. Lady Forsythia simply employs a colorful manner of speech.
Do you always apologize for bloodthirsty nobles?
It's the usual showmanship expected from those in power, Inquisitor. Nothing more. But I confess I do miss my staff from the embassy in Antiva. It was always useful to discuss the day's visitors with them.
I have time, if you'd like to review things with me.
I wouldn't wish to impose.
If it were imposing, I wouldn't have offered.
Well, I admit, there are a few potential alliances it would be good to discuss. Right on the parlor floor, in front of everyone at the soiree. Who does such a thing in front of their guests?
The Duke of Kellington, apparently.
And then there's Cole's lurking. It frightens our guests half to death. Lord Jennar still won't respond to our letters. And Sarah, can she not find a single overshirt without mustard stains on it? Then there's Dorian. The man refuses to take anything seriously unless it suits its whim. Not to mention... Oh goodness. Have we been here an hour already?
2.5 hours, I think, but no one's counting.
Oh, dear. I didn't intend to go on for so long. You must think me quite the gossip.
Spending time with such an engaging woman is never unpleasant, Lady Montilyet.
Goodness. I'm glad I haven't wasted your day. Well, I've taken up quite enough of your time already. Until next time, Your Worship. It's good to see you.
Who rules Antiva?
Officially, the Principality of Antiva is governed by His Majesty King Fugelno II. In reality, Antiva's merchant princes rule the country in everything but name. Quite loudly, I might add.
What sort of dealings did you have with these merchant families?
As ambassador, I attended Privy Council meetings in a mediatory capacity. May I just say, one has never heard an argument until they've sat in on 15 princes howling down each other's tariff suggestions.
I'd storm out of any meeting that came to that.
It would be fitting. Dramatic exits are always a favorite. It's all a part of life in Antiva. Our traditions value passion and romance. A certain exuberance of style.
Are you positive you're Antivan?
I can be most exuberant when it's called for. Just at the right moments, and in a proper fashion. Might we speak of something else?
What's the land like in Antiva?
The settled areas are quite lush. The vineyards run as far as the eye can see in some places. Antiva City, however, perches right up against the Rialto Bay. That's what I miss most. The sea crashing against the maze of the docks.
I have difficulty seeing you wandering around a trading port.
Everyone in Antiva City spends time by the ships, my lord. The finest restaurants and poets all make their habitation by the sea. The waterfront's never still. Lanterns are lit along the promenade no matter what the weather.
Are you ever homesick?
Occasionally. When a breeze stirs the trees in the garden, I sometimes pretend it's the sound of the surf. Do you know, I even miss those terrible squawking birds infesting the harbor. My youngest sister used to throw whole loaves of bread to the gulls. Silly thing.
You said the Montiliers used to run an entire trading fleet. What happened?
There was a scandal in Val Royaux more than an age ago. The Montiliers were forbidden from trading with Orlais. Our personal fortunes never quite rebounded.
Does anyone in Orlais even remember what that scandal was?
I doubt it, but the injunction persists.
What exactly happened?
An affair with a minor lord. Perhaps. Most other details are lost.
Are you saying your family's livelihood was ruined because of a love affair no one even remembers?
Essentially. Orlesian politics are full of these unhappy little missteps, Inquisitor.
You haven't really gone into detail about how you know Liliana.
We met... let me think. We met the last few years of my schooling, but we became friends after I became ambassador to Orlais. It seems terrifyingly long ago now.
How exactly did you and Liliana reconnect in the Inquisition?
I discovered my family had been overcharging a merchant we traded with for months. Our name carries a great deal of trust in Antiva. I spent weeks arranging a string of favors as suitable recompense. Apparently satisfied, the merchant extended me an invitation to her estate. Liliana greeted me in place of the merchant.
Why didn't she send a message instead of playing all these games?
It was a test of sorts. Liliana claimed she needed someone of painful integrity for the Inquisition. I accepted, once she finally explained what it was.
Do you remain close?
Yes, but she's grown so much more distant than the outgoing woman I met in Val Royaux. Liliana used to wander the Orlesian courts, singing the sweetest songs, charming the greatest wits. Now she collects secrets and takes risks that would make empires tremble. I worry, but she will not hear it.
Does Liliana confide in you?
She enjoys revisiting our more disastrous adventures. Liliana used to concoct the most ridiculous plans. Run if you ever see her with a twine ball, a measuring stick, and a handkerchief.
Tell me about the Montiliers.
Well, my parents are alive and in good health. They live in our estate in Antiva City. Of my 4 siblings, most attend to the running of the family vineyards. That reminds me, I must ask someone to make sure Yvette attends the spring reception at the palace. My youngest sister has no head for social engagements.
Why are you overseeing your siblings' social lives?
It's Antivan custom. After a certain age, the heir apparent runs the family's estate to prove they're worthy of succession. If you're unfit for the task, the heads of the house, usually one's parents, may decree a new heir.
What do these Antivan heads of the household do if they don't run it?
They work and provide guidance. I've taken advice from my parents. Well, mostly mother. Father's more of an artist. It's rather gauche, but we never can dissuade him from running his own salons. Between him and my siblings, mother's looking forward to my taking over the estate.
Between that and the Inquisition, when do you ever rest?
Delegation helps a great deal. But managing the estate is my duty. As much work as it is, I will not shirk it.
Is running your family's estate that important to you?
I'm responsible for their welfare. A Montilier never shuns their familial duty. Taxing as those duties can sometimes be.
You have enough siblings. Let one of them take over.
You don't know them. But Lorien in charge, or Antoine, or Yvette? No, truly.
It must be me.
Where were you raised, Josephine?
I was born in Antiva City, but when I turned 15, Mother declared I'd attend finishing school in Val Royeaux. But I bawled into her skirts the day I had to leave.
Did they have to pry your fingers off the doorframe as well?
Admittedly, I may have been a trifle sheltered, but my mother only wanted the best for me. Living in Orlais was an education in itself.
What did you learn at this finishing school in Val Royeaux?
Among other things, mathematics, rhetoric, poetry, history, logic, and a great deal of etiquette. I still remember Madame Beventir's switch on my knuckles when I forgot the basic tenets of Nevaran dining customs. For a dowager approaching her 80th year, she had quite the arm.
How did the younger you like Val Royeaux when you arrived?
Have you ever stepped into a new city and felt the buildings couldn't possibly be real? That was Val Royeaux to me. So beautifully foreign, I gaped at its spires for months.
Does Antiva City have nothing that compares to Val Royeaux?
Antiva City is a jewel among the capitals. But I did not appreciate that before I traveled. There are multitudes of places I'd like to see. Seheran, the Anderfells, whatever lies past the Amarantine Ocean.
Let's speak later.
Goodbye. Let us begin. Are you all right, Leliana?
Are you?
I suppose not. Haven was trying.
All right.
Inquisitor.
Did you need something, darling?
Do you think that you and I might someday...
My dear, you are delightful, but that's quite impossible.
You all right, sir?
Someone left sliced plums on the windowsill again. The juice is attracting flies.
Inquisitor. That's got a good ring to it. We're happy to be here, Your Worship. You need anything, let me know.
Iron Bull said the chargers were at my disposal. Do you have any suggestions on how to use them?
I suspect Haven's quiet by now. Might be worth sending the boys back. We could recover some supplies, get an idea about the enemy's strength. We could even pick up any stragglers who haven't found Skyhold yet.
Can we talk about the Bull's chargers?
Best company you'll find from here to the Anderfells. In my time with the Chief, we've gone up against everything from bandits to magic trees. We're expensive, but you'll never doubt we're worth it. Want to know anything in particular?
Do the chargers specialize in anything from a tactical standpoint?
Bull doesn't want us large enough to work as an army. We're better as shock troops, as skirmishers. We've got archers for hitting enemy infantry, Dalish with more archery, and Skinner and her people on the flanks. Rocky handles fortifications and traps, and Stitches keeps us all fighting. They mostly hold back. I'll lead the frontline fighters with Grim, and the Chief goes wherever he can hit something.
You said something about everything from bandits to magic trees. I'll admit to some curiosity.
Right. Sylvans. That's what Dalish called them. Apparently spirits can possess trees, too. Some noble in the Dales, and they really don't like it when you call them Dalish nobles, had a haunted forest. His family had abandoned the land, but he wanted it back. The Chief bought us all axes, and in we went. Between the axes and the torches, the Sylvans weren't too bad. Worst part was the squirrels.
Are there rules for how mercenaries operate?
If you don't want some noble to treat you like bandits, yes. There's also a code of conduct most companies hold to. Keeps things civilized on the battlefield. We accept surrenders for ransom from mercenaries, nobles, and soldiers wearing a lord's colors. Our prisoners are treated well, injuries tended. We'd want the same for any of ours who got captured.
We'll talk later.
What can I do for you?
See you later, Bull.
Nice talking with you, boss.
Would that I could. Right, that way. You've heard?
Of she who stands behind the throne.
That perhaps casts a shadow across it.
Nobility do not properly understand the word.
Hey you, I have an Inquisitor favor to ask. Just a little thing, really. A little march around for some of your people. It's nothing for you, right?
I won't agree to anything without details.
Smart of you. I wouldn't dream of wasting your super important time. It's a Red Jenny thing. I got a tip that some noble stiffs are arguing over Vershel. Land squabble. They're getting little people beat up, so I need you to go to your big table and send some people to walk through town.
Just walk through?
Just walk through. Easy, right?
Was this a tip from one of your friends?
Not a Jenny. Just normal angry people getting sick of being in the middle. I don't usually hear about things this far away. But having a friend like you is like getting really big ears. Bigger ears, I guess. Shut up.
Who's asking for this?
I'm asking, because I heard people complaining. See, when nobles fight, it's not them. It's their little people stuck in the middle. It's like a polite war, so no one pays attention. But if you march through, the people up top feel threatened too. Stuff like this is always happening. Good sovereigns to be made if you're one of the few who notice.
What does the Inquisition get out of this?
Nobles think everyone is out to get them. So when your helmets march through, both sides will think the other's your ally. Both get scared, both make deals. Worst case, you get a little bump among the people just because they see you active. Can't promise anything, but something will happen. Just like always.
I I can't commit people to something like this just out of the blue.
Fair enough, I suppose. I mean, you're busy. It's hard to find time to tell people to do one thing. That was me saying the opposite of what I meant, yeah? Because this is easy. Never mind. I bet it'll stew for a while if you change your mind. Idiots don't calm down on their own.
Are you sure? It's just what I heard.
Demon armies and wardens, and Varric has exactly who he needs. The big talker just knows everything.
What do you think about the people who have gathered?
Again with your people. Right, which ones?
What about Solus?
Solus? His head's crammed up 1,000 years ago.
Anything to say about Varric?
Varric? Too clever. Always saying something, but never saying it straight.
Thoughts about Cassandra?
Not as buttoned up as she plays, right? Tough, though. I'd stand behind her in front of anything.
What do you think about our spy master, ambassador, and commander?
Liliana is pretty in places. Swear I've seen her, too. Or heard she used to play. But that'd be mad. Now, Josephine, she's as good at humbling her kind as I am. Just with less mess. Knows her business, if you have to have it. And Cullen, I suppose if you want a jackboot, you get a big one so you can grow into it. Nice hair, though.
What about Cole?
I'm not saying nothing about that. That thing is just wrong.
We'll talk later.
Good, right? I'll be here.
Of course.
He was their enemy the whole time, but she made him forget, so he could change.
I'd like to talk about what happened to you before we met.
What do you want to know?
What was the Spire like when the Mage Rebellion started?
Dead and dying, begging and bloody. Some wanted freedom, some peace, some war. Some wanted it all to stop. Evangeline was a Templar, but she helped Rhys help the others. She set them free. Adrian was a mage, but she killed mages to force the fight. She wanted blood. Rhys just wanted to help, to stop people hurting. Maybe that's why he saw me.
What can you tell me about Rhys?
He was a mage. He saw me when most couldn't, and he remembered. He helped me, and I watched over him. I worried Evangeline would hurt him. She was a Templar, but she didn't like hurting people. When I left, she stayed. Now she watches over him. They should have been with the rebels. Maybe they ran away together instead. Neither of them like killing.
If you like, I could use the resources of the Inquisition to locate your friend.
No. If they are alive and safe, they should stay away. The last time he saw me, he didn't want to look at me. He saw a monster. Let him forget.
What did you mean when you said you killed mages?
Some of the mages at the Spire wanted to die. Too sad, too scared, too much. I didn't know what I was. A ghost, I thought. Fading in the fade. When I came to them, they could see me. I used the knife to set them free. When Rhys found out, he made me stop, made me understand. There were other ways to help. I didn't know.
You murdered helpless mages, and that's all you have to say?
Yes. I didn't know, and I stopped when I did. But that doesn't mean I didn't do it. They were hurting, helpless, haunted. It was all I could do. It was wrong. I was wrong. If I start again, you or Cassandra or Cullen need to kill me.
What can you tell me about Adamant Fortress?
It is old, full of sadness and pain. It should be torn down. The veil is thin. We found a demon there. It had touched a man and made him real again. It scared Rhys and Evangeline. The man wasn't supposed to be real. Then the demon found us. It put me back in the cupboard on the bad day. Rhys and Evangeline saved me.
You said Seeker Lambert told you what you were.
I'm hiding Rhys from him, but he chants words and sees. I won't let you hurt Rhys. My nose explodes, a shower of blood. Just another parasite that's wormed its way into our world, feeding off all the things you can't have. What we found at Adamant made him angry. We were the first rock rolling at the top of a mountain. He had to stop us. He killed so many. He didn't care. Cold, corrupt. So I came and killed him.
If you hated Seeker Lambert, why go to the Seeker Fortress?
Because he was right. I was a demon. I saw demons at Adamant. They put people in the dark, in the old hurts. I didn't want to be that. I heard the old songs of the Templars at Val Royeaux and followed them. If I forgot, fought, fell to felling, Templars would kill the demon. I wouldn't hurt anyone again.
I'll talk to you later.
How do you know?
Fine day to you.
Stefan finally died. It was a blessing, really.
Go on, then.
I have some more questions.
Why am I not surprised?
Tell me about your brother.
I'd rather not.
I'll let you get back to work.
Surely you have better things to do.
Do you have any advice for me?
Treat Dorian with caution. It's possible he could be what he seems, a Tevinter mage wishing to do better than his countrymen. What if he is not? At best, his presence makes the Inquisition appear to have questionable allies.
Do you have any advice for me?
Watch the treasury carefully, with that Sarah present.
You think she's here to rob us?
Possibly not, but I would hardly put it past her.
Do you have any advice for me?
It's good that you recruited Enchanter Vivian into the Inquisition. She is ambitious, but has always shown sense in her dealings with the Chantry. My advice would be to watch her, but heed her when she speaks. That one wastes no words.
Do you have any advice for me?
We must guard Skyhold carefully. There is no telling when Corypheus will next attack.
That's enough for now.
As you wish.
Strangest thing, when I read...
As leader of the Inquisition, you... There's something I must tell you.
All right.
Lyrium grants Templars our abilities, but it controls us as well. Those cut off suffer. Some go mad, others die. We have secured a reliable source of lyrium for the Templars here. But I no longer take it.
You stopped?
When I joined the Inquisition. It's been months now.
Months? You didn't think to tell me this sooner?
Has it mattered?
I don't know. Has it?
After what happened in Kirkwall, I couldn't. I will not be bound to the Order, or that life any longer. Whatever the suffering, I accept it. But I would not put the Inquisition at risk. I've asked Cassandra to watch me. If my ability to lead is compromised, I will be relieved from duty.
Are you in pain?
I can endure it.
You shouldn't have done this in the first place.
I have to do this. What future can there be outside the Order if I don't try? I believe in this Inquisition. I would serve out of loyalty, not blind obedience.
Cullen, this isn't the time.
The Inquisition's army must always take precedence. I will consider what you said. Inquisitor?
What do you think of the people you work with?
Who do you mean?
What do you think of our ambassador?
We have little in common. How she delights in meeting with nobles all day is beyond me. But I enjoy working with her.
How do you like working with Liliana?
The Inquisition would not exist without her. I may not always agree with her methods, but she's more passionate about our cause than anyone. Cassandra may have declared the Inquisition publicly, but Liliana is just as responsible for its formation.
Are you satisfied with the Inquisition's forces?
Our soldiers are well disciplined and committed to the cause. Theron Fall's Templars are adjusting to life here. Their experience will prove useful against the Venatori.
I should let you get back to work.
At your service.
I understand there's a way I could become a Templar. Or gain the power, at least.
Why would you?
I know the costs. I've accepted them. If Lyrium gives me the power to defeat Corypheus, how can I not use it?
It is not a decision to be made lightly. Even in times such as these.
What is it like to have powers? To take Lyrium?
Strange. But after a while, your abilities become instinct. You wield them as you would a sword, without thought.
Do you think that's what it's like to be a mage?
No. Templar abilities are not magic. You draw on the lyrium in your blood and your training, not some innate ability.
You're sure it feels different? How do you know?
I just do.
You've been through this. I could use your advice.
You have the physical training, but you must prepare mentally as well. The Order would have you sit vigil. You are not bound by their rules, but if you go through with this, it may help.
Nothing's done yet. We'll leave this for now.
Of course.
That's all for now.
I'm sure you have other matters to attend.
Are you proud of yourself? Of what you've built here? How about the lives you've destroyed along the way? Given much thought to those lately? Is this Inquisition all you wanted it to be? Because I'm disappointed. All I see is a gang of thugs led by a self-serving tyrant.
Why don't you tell me how you really feel?
Of course. I shouldn't have expected you to take this seriously. I do not control your course nor the Inquisition's, only my own. So do as you wish. I will not be party to this any longer.
It was an archdemon, they say.
It wasn't. Diseased, maybe.
You didn't see it. It had colored fire.
My father saw the last archdemon. You don't know anything. First, a full wheel of Antivan smoked cheese, and now 3 royals worth of crushed mint. They were right here. I remember seeing someone take them. I can't recall their face.
My scouts report no signs of danger in the pass nearby.
I will arrange patrols to ensure it stays that way. Inquisitor.
Need something?
Carry on.
Pleasure.
What do the people make of us?
Despite our fame, we're low on steadfast allies. We must aim for more.
Any thoughts on the people here?
Who did you mean? Farewell.
Let's look at you. Right, you'll survive it. Maybe.
And you are?
I'm a breaker. My name is Thram, and I was not expecting a messenger from this place. The Inquisitor wants to be a Reaver.
Your title is Breaker? What is that?
It's a name. It serves. You will become a Reaver, or you will break. This is not a road for those who worry about what others think. You want power? Admit it. You've battles to win. If you give a toss about opinion, you can write your own history after you win. Let's not waste time. You've dragons to conquer, infusions to make, and blood to drink.
Dragons are involved?
Dragons are the heart of it. The beating heart. We take of the dragon and become more than a mortal with a sword. We become a conduit to power. But we're not mages. Demons reach through but find no purchase. They're a slave to the blade. Your blade.
What do you mean by blood?
I meant what I said, and it was meant to stop you cold. This way begins and ends with dragon blood. Blood is life. Life is power. It's that simple. Reavers know it. Blood mages know it. All others can debate it in the next world.
What will this allow me to do?
Win. Not just victory, but bloody victory. The withering of your enemies will empower. The more they think they prevail, the more you bleed, the more you triumph. You wish to inspire? Inspire terror.
It seems like there's a lot of risk to this.
There's no risk, there's a promise. If you do this, you will change. There is no retirement from this life. But unlike the Grey Warden or the Templar, you don't wither. You'll die when you fail. Until then, glory.
Right. Tell me how it begins.
Very well. There is instruction. There are steps. At the end, there is choice. I look forward to what you become, Inquisitor.
Herald, I hear you wish training so you don't embarrass those sworn to you. I'm summoned to offer instruction in the physical aspect of the Templar. I'm Sir.
Sir what?
Sir. Our time is brief, Herald. I trust you are serious.
My general has not given glowing reports of Templar life.
Yet here you are. Do you search for higher meaning behind such doubts? I don't teach that. The Order. Faith is not where Templar abilities come from. Faith is how Templars endure their abilities. I teach how to deny magics. Not fight, not match. Deny. And that lies in lyrium. You will construct a filter, you will suffer its effects, and you will be worthy of inspiration. How you endure will be your own affair.
I was meant for this. The blessing of Andraste ensures I will endure.
Believe that. Believe it with all your might.
It's a direct blessing.
Do you feel it in your bones every second? That's what's coming.
What is it that I will endure? I know what my general is going through.
Inside you, there is something you don't know you possess. Becoming a Templar will make you keenly aware. You will feel empowered. It is joyous. But once you are accustomed, that something will get hungry. You have never felt this. The Order fights it with brotherhood. I don't know what a herald has.
This filter. Describe it.
It is a simple box, or an ornate one. It has simple tools or bejeweled. Depends on what you need. You will use it to prepare the daily draft of lyrium that allows the denial of magic. No one else can do this for you. Soon you won't know you're doing it. It will be a part of you.
All right. Tell me what the benefits are.
Magic was meant to serve man. This is ensured through the muscle and will of Templars. We deny the mage his magic. We deny the demon its magic. We are the beacon of right on the battlefield. The benefits, Herald, the benefit is control.
Very well, sir. I'm ready to learn.
They all say that. Here. Know that this is merely an introduction. The steps are simple. Kill, learn, construct. If you do not pray, Inquisitor, I recommend starting, if only to drown the filter's call.
Inquisitor! Imagine the frothing of the minstrels dreaming of this meeting. Frantic. I, of course, am Lord Chancellor de Lyon, and I am here to aid your ascension to glory in the hearts of the people. I shall make you a champion.
Just tell me what to do.
That's hardly the mind to have on the matter. It's less what you do and more how you do it. Champion is about being a leader while also being known, respected. There are formalities, of course. Procedures, pish and tosh. All superseded as you already lead a nation. Once you set and have your standard, you shall command like you were born to it. And of course you were.
There's always a cost. What's the risk?
Ah, the dark future of all who live by the sword. If you needed a patron, I'd say be certain you choose wisely. Many a head has been lost for the faults of others. But you are your own authority. You already lead, and I dare say your current task has enough risk. So dangers of the future when you retire as favorite of the people? Are you allergic to silks? It's good to be champion.
You mean a literal standard?
Colors. Something for you to raise, or the field, the tavern, the backhouse, wherever you wish. You could cut a square and claim a mere flag. But the Inquisition is no scow alerting bridges. It's a beacon. It's a final step. Symbolic. No drowning in gold to gain its strength or other tosh.
Is it similar to a knight? Or an Orlesian chevalier?
We share a way of the field, and they can be useful. But those titles carry a certain reputation. Chevaliers are generally pricks, in my experience. The people are less inclined to celebrate those backhanders. You want to be their champion.
All right, Lord Chancellor. I'm ready to start.
Of course you are. You already have. Mere formality awaits. There's a process, a few shows of ability to start them talking. But you'll take to it just fine. Remember, it's good to be champion.
Finally, a place for the horses. I forgot about the Ferelden horses.
That monster. He's a magister. He eats babies and burn everything. I heard the same thing. You didn't know. We're
Nothing to report, sir.
Someone went to a great deal of trouble to find that, whatever it is.
Inquisitor.
One down!
Up she goes. What made the mages come here of all places?
More supplies for Recruit Whittle.
Red lyrium. Whoever this dwarf was, he was in over his head.
Inquisitor.
The news. All of Haven destroyed by a DAI.
I know you. They call you the Herald of Andraste for what you did at Haven. But are you? The Maker has not told me.
I am the Herald of Andraste.
And do you claim to hold power over the rifts the Maker has opened in the sky?
I can seal rifts, yes.
Then prove it. Show me that the rifts bend to your will, the will of the Maker. Show me the power you wield.
This cult. What are you doing out here? What is it you think is happening?
The Chantry has fallen, and shown its imperfection in doing so. The Chant of Light was a lie. It was arrogance to think that mortal lips could frame the Maker's will, and so we wait in silence. The Maker has opened the sky. Soon he will call his chosen back to the Golden City.
Until later.
Until the Maker brings you back to us.
In times of danger, the simple-minded will cling to whatever superstition they can find, however stupid.
Such an irresponsible use of magic. The mages here are little more than animals.
Did you hear? The Mage Rebellion has ended.
I believe I sense one of the artifacts of my people.
The mages have all but disappeared.
It's a miracle. Perhaps we'll live through this after all.
If my was killed by some beast of the blood, and it wasn't the Maker. None of this means anything. There's no plan.
Excuse me. While you were coming up, did you meet a young noblewoman with blonde hair and pale green eyes? Lady Velena should be here. We need to be together when the Maker comes.
I found a woman's body down the hill with a letter on it.
This letter... Velena is dead. But we were meant to be together. The Maker would not keep us apart. What am I supposed to do now?
The Inquisition needs men who believe as strongly as you do. Come and help us restore order.
Yes. If waiting here in the hills leaves innocents to die, then I will bring the Maker's word by the sword. My men and I will lend our strength to the Inquisition. Thank you.
You close the rifts. You are truly the fluid of envy. What? Your face. This is a sign.
Committed bachelor, I hear. Shame.
I know.
Away with words.
Please tell... Inquisitor, I must speak with you.
What is it?
I must explain something first about the Montilier's fortunes.
I remember you said your family had been forbidden from trading in Orlais.
It's devastated our finances. The Montilier's have, in fact, been in debt for over 100 years.
This better not be about lending you money.
What? No, certainly not. I promise you. For generations, we've done everything to keep creditors at bay. Sold our lands to stave off interest. It's just... it is infuriating to see my family still reduced to this. I'm to become head of our house. If I sell any more of our land, my family will become destitute. That cannot be my legacy to them.
Most people worry about their next meal, never mind an estate.
I'm not blind, but I worry for my family. My foolish sister Yvette with her daydreams, my brothers trying to rebuild our fleet with their own hands. Is it wrong to hope they never know hardship?
Why not let someone else in your family run the estate, if it has so many problems?
But I was so close to solving them. I negotiated a chance to reinstate the Montilier's as landed traders in Orlais. We could rebuild with that. But when I dispatched paperwork to Val Royeaux... I've just learned my carriers were murdered. And the documents restoring my family's trading status destroyed.
Were the murderers targeting the Inquisition?
Leliana made inquiries that bore success. Comte Boisvert, a nobleman in Val Royeaux, claims to know who killed my messengers. He has a request that you come when I meet him, so he's seen publicly conferring with you.
What will being seen with me gain the Comte?
The Comte will drop hints at parties he's to meet with an important visitor. Allies and rivals will take note. Once he's met you, there will be speculation. The Comte will subtly spin reports to his advantage. He will use us. But if he knows who killed my people, I ask that we indulge him.
If I meet this Comte, you'd better not try to wheedle anything from me.
I will take full responsibility if that's the case, Inquisitor. I must know who killed my couriers just to harm my family.
You read the report?
It was unusual. Is he always so blunt?
Yes.
Really? You did not notice?
I had no idea Lady Beverly was one of your people. You might have told me before I embarrassed myself. Inquisitor?
I trust you've heard what befell Roderick at Haven.
Stand not so close.
Leading the people of Haven to safety through the mountains.
Sweet Andraste guide his final rest.
Those who oppose thee shall know the wrath of heaven. Field and forest shall burn. The sea shall rise and devour them.
Do you know where this noble wanted to meet us?
I do. The Comte Boisvert invited us to his mansion, not far from here. I pray he clears up the deaths of my messengers, as promised.
I must attend to some things first.
As you wish. Please do hurry. Are you ready to visit Comte Boisvert, Inquisitor?
Lead the way.
Welcome, my friend.
Thank you for seeing us, Comte Boisvert.
The honor is mine. Please, sit. It's an honor to assist two such distinguished guests.
Please, tell us what you know.
Straight to business, then. After the murder of Lady Montule's people, I don't suppose I can blame you. Have you heard of the House of Repose?
The Assassin's League?
My contacts obtained a copy of a document in the archives. Contract for a life.
The House of Repose is hereby sworn to eliminate anyone attempting to overturn the Montiliers' trading exile in Orlais.
Who's sending these assassins?
The contract was signed by a noble family. The Du Paraquets.
But the Du Paraquets died out as a noble line over 60 years ago.
Indeed. But the contract was signed 109 years ago.
How can a family try to kill you after they died out?
The Du Paraquets were our rivals. They drove the Montiliers from Val Royaux. This contract was drawn up over 100 years ago, but it wasn't invoked until I tried to overturn my family's exile.
Unpleasant though it may be, the House of Repose is merely fulfilling its contractual duties.
If the people who wanted your family dead are gone, why are the assassins still after you?
A contract is a contract, Inquisitor. Orlesian businesses live and die by their reputations. The entire guild's welfare would be endangered if an agreement was tossed aside on a whim of time or fate.
She's quite right, Your Worship. The House of Repose is doing what it feels necessary, by its standards.
So we destroy this House of Repose before assassins appear at Skyhole's doorstep.
There may be a less confrontational way to end this. The Du Paraquets still have descendants under the common branch. If we elevate them to nobility, a Du Paraquet could annul the contract on my life.
That will take time, Lady Montilier. Time during which the House of Repose will be obliged to hunt you.
Will they now? You are exceedingly well informed. You're not to have said you'd heard rumors, at best.
A bit of subterfuge. This contract on your life is an ugly business. One the House of Repose deeply regrets. But this is Orlais. Even an assassin's word is his bond.
Does Comte Boisvert actually exist?
Absolutely. The Comte's offer to reveal the killers of Lady Montule's messengers was genuine. So was his information somehow. An end to be tied up later.
The House of Repose has some nerve sending a killer to greet us.
Hardly anyone in the League isn't trained for this, Inquisitor. The contract on Lady Montile's life is so unusual, we felt the courtesy of an explanation was in order.
It is appreciated, monsieur.
Your idea to seek out Du Paraquet to revoke our orders is an interesting one. I wish you luck. I did not come to shed blood today, Inquisitor. Only to speak. Might I pass?
Why warn us about your contract and let us go?
In Orlais, it is only decent to inform those involved in a contract when extraordinary circumstances conspire.
And the guild's reputation would suffer if you ignored the contract. I quite understand.
Thank you, my lady. May we conclude with my departure?
Not on your life.
As you wish.
That's the last of them.
I knew the bastard was up to something when he wouldn't let us upstairs with you two. Welcome, by the way.
Sarah, you will have all my thanks once we get back to Skyhold in safety. I've much to discuss with the Inquisitor there.
Do you hear something?
Oh, goodness. Comte Poivert, is that you? Oh, the lock's been broken off. We'll find a saw. I realize the cabinet is quite valuable, Comte, but surely... A locksmith, then? As you wish.
What's the chant say about this? I never paid attention. Assholes in the maker's door. He made them...
I'm so sorry, Inquisitor. I never thought my family's trading status would trap us in an assassin's plot.
What's done is done. We must deal with this House of Repose before they come again.
Yes. Yes, of course. I've tracked down the last Du Paraquets. If they become gentry, they can annul the contract on my life. We'll require a noble from Val Royeaux to sponsor them, a judge to provide documents, a minister to ratify them.
It's so like you to take the longest course of action, even when your life is at stake.
I assume you already know everything about this mess.
There is a faster way, Josephine. The original contract on your life is in the vaults of the House of Repose. If my agents infiltrate it and destroy the original, the assassin will have no obligation to chase you.
Liliana, please. I want no more bloodshed over a personal affair.
Don't be so stubborn, Josie. How long will it take you to gather these favors in Val Royeaux?
If destroying the original contract will satisfy the Guild, I say we do it.
But I'm sure my plan will work, Inquisitor.
Whatever happens, I'll assign you more guards. The House of Repose won't be idle long.
I appreciate it, but I still believe elevating the Du Paraquets will solve this. First, we need to perform some favors in Barroyo. I'd be happy to discuss where we could begin. Any news on the House of Repose, Inquisitor?
Let's speak later.
Goodbye.
If it was abandoned when we arrived, who named this place Skyhold?
Solus says it changed hands so many times, the original builders can't be traced.
I read the House of Armitage once built a fortress in the vicinity 5 ages ago, but the records are lost.
Inquisitor. Have you heard anything?
Not yet. I'll let you know as soon as I do.
Good to see you safe, Inquisitor. We've got trouble ahead.
I'm sure it's nothing the Inquisition can't handle.
Careful, Your Worship. That optimism might be catching.
Are things that bad? Oh.
Crestwood was the site of a flood 10 years ago during the Blight. It's not the only rift in the area, but after it appeared, corpses started walking out of the lake. You'll have to fight through them to get to the cave where Sir Hawk's Grey Warden friend is hiding.
I wish we could get better acquainted, Harding. When the dead aren't rising around us, perhaps.
The world would crumble to dust before you ran out of ills to fight. Maybe someone in Crestwood can tell you how to get to the rift in the lake. Maker knows they'll want help. Good luck, and please be safe.
the moth sees light and go... You honor us, Inquisitor. I am Sister Vaughn. Does the mayor finally plan to drain the lake? I must find someone to retrieve the remains of those lost there.
You want to exhume the corpses at the bottom of the lake?
They were the Maker's children. Their earthly bodies deserve better than abandonment in a mire. A funeral service will help put living minds at ease.
Have I interrupted a funeral service?
We lost many friends in the first attack. There will be endless time to mourn. The fear is how many more will be added to the pyre.
What did you mean by finally drain the lake?
The undead returned, only after the light in the lake appeared. If we want to stop them, we must investigate. But the mayor sent no one at all. I fear he thinks that emptying the waters would unleash even more monsters on us.
Until later.
Andraste guide you.
Die!
5 more dead last night. We'll not be able to hold out much longer.
And what are you standing there for? Don't you have somewhere better to be?
Over there, Venatori.
They look serious.
Watch out!
Someone help!
Nice work with the magic back there, Dorian. You're pretty good at blowing guys up.
It's significantly more impressive than hitting them with a sharp piece of metal.
Hey, whoa, let's not get crazy.
This might be a decent place for a spot of camp.
The cave where Hawk's warden friend is squatting?
You made it. I just got here myself. My contact with the warden should be at the back of the cave.
There was a group of wardens out there hunting a senior warden. They said he was a traitor.
Of course they did. They may even have believed it. How much blood is shed by good men following bad orders?
Let's go.
It's just us. I brought the Inquisitor.
My name is Stroud, and I'm at your service, Inquisitor.
I need to know why the Wardens disappeared. Could it have something to do with Corypheus?
I fear it is so. When my friend Hawk slew Corypheus, Weishaupt was happy to put the matter to rest. But an archdemon can survive wounds that seem fatal, and I feared Corypheus might possess the same power. My investigation uncovered clues, but no proof. Then, not long after, every warden in Orlais began to hear the calling.
I recall that being a bad thing. But I don't recall you telling me about all this.
It was a Grey Warden matter. I was bound by an oath of secrecy.
You think Corypheus is using this calling to control the Grey Wardens?
Not precisely, Your Worship. The calling warns a Grey Warden that his time in this world grows short.
And every Grey Warden in Orlais is hearing that right now. They think they're dying.
Yes. Likely because of Corypheus. If the Wardens fall, who will stand against the next Blight? It is our greatest fear.
And then they do something desperate. Which is, of course, what Corypheus wants.
Is the calling they're hearing real? Or is Corypheus mimicking it somehow?
I know not. Even as a senior Warden, I had heard only the vaguest whispers of Corypheus. The Wardens believe that this calling is real, and they will act accordingly. That is all we know for certain.
You said all the Wardens are hearing the calling. Does that include you?
Sadly, yes. It lurks like a wolf in the shadows around a campfire. The creature that makes this music has never known the love of the Maker, but at times, I almost understand it. We must uncover what Corypheus has done and end it. This cannot stand.
How can Corypheus make all these Wardens hear the calling?
I cannot say. We know little about him, save that he is dangerous. He is a Magister, as well as a Darkspawn, and speaks with the voice of the Blight. That lets him affect the minds of Wardens, since we are tied to the Blight ourselves. It must be how he created this false calling.
We need the Warden's help. This is the worst possible time for such lunacy.
We are the only ones who can slay archdemons. Without us, the next Blight will consume the world. Warden Commander Clarel spoke of a blood magic ritual to prevent future Blights before we all perished. When I protested the plan as madness, my own comrades turned on me. Grey Wardens are gathering here, in the western approach. It is an ancient Tevinter ritual tower. Meet me there, and we will find answers.
Let's go.
We should get to the ritual tower in the western approach as soon as possible, Your Worship.
We'll talk later.